friends, and greetings for the day. Welcome back to another tutorial on our software testing bootcamp, where we are looking forward to understand some of the fundamental concepts of software testing. We recently got started with the chapter 6, where we are talking about manual versus automation testing. And as a part of yesterday's tutorial, we covered about 6.1, and today we'll be talking about 6.2 automation testing concepts and relate it back to that of the manual with a quick comparison. When you talk about the automation testing, of course, the word itself says that we are trying to automate it, which is going to reduce the interaction of human with that of the application when trying to test it. It's just quite simple to understand that your work is being done by a robot, which has been instructed to perform certain specific tasks. Now, it's just equivalent to having an automated washing machine at your home and performing automated washing. Now, it does not at any point means that the washing machine is capable of roaming around your house, looking into your wardrobes and searching for dirty clothes and picking them up one after the other and start washing them on its own. An automation is all about a human being instructing the tool to do the necessary steps, and it has to be instructed. It's not that the tool will just start walking on its own, have all that skills of decision making, that what needs to be done and how needs to be done and what exactly it is and sort of thing. So it's again, a human is still responsible to make automation happen, and a human is required to possess the skills of drafting the test scripts in the language which the tool understands and provide all the necessary instructions what you want the tool to do based on maybe on conditions or without the conditions, but still the necessary instructions are driven or given by the test engineer, right? So no matter you are a manual tester, but you can always transform from manual testing to automation testing, given that you have the knowledge of what is an automation test tool. Now, at the same time, the automation tool, as the name suggests, can save a lot of your time during execution, during the period where you're running short on schedule and time pressure. You can make use of automation testing, and certainly that can result into a lot of time saving and performing better testing in the limited time you may have. And also at the same time, there are certain specific measurements which are related to different levels of testing, be it about execution time, be it about measuring the response time of a particular performance of test, right? So the test tools like automation are pretty much capable of precisely measuring certain parameters and returning you back with all that matrices, all that statistics, what you need to define if the performance is up to the mark. And similarly, there are a lot of other technical parameters, technical levels which you perform, like portability, you have recoverability, you have adaptability and interoperability, where these tools are very, very useful and helpful to do the necessary work. Also, to understand, there are certain scenarios in the testing where manual testing is very, very limited. In fact, sometimes it's very difficult to perform manual testing. For an example, performance testing is a level where doing manual is completely kind of impossible, because first of all, you may not afford such a big infrastructure. For example, what if you want to test a system or an application for 10,000 users? You can't hire 10,000 people to do performance testing. You can't, even if you could afford somehow, what about the infrastructure? What about the place where you'll be hosting them, right? And what about coordinating between them? You have to just say, okay, click on this button right now. Even if you shout it loud, right? The team may still lack doing that sync between the click, right? So this is something which is very, very, very cost expensive and may not be suggested to be performed manually. Could be hectic to do it within the project. So you make use of automation tools to do the job of it. And we call them as performance testing tools. So some of the levels are critically defined for automation. Manually, 2 to 3 users, up to 5 users, 10 users, you can do that. But that's not what the expectation of the market is today, right? So it does not mean, though we are talking about so many benefits of having an automation test tools in your organization or for several levels, it nowhere declares that automation is the best. The manual and automation has its own significance. Manual utilizes the human mindset, and automation is used where you think you just have to reduce your effort. But the objective is not to find defects, right? And it's not recommended that you look forward to have 100% automated testing. We generally automate only the scenarios where primary objective is not to find defects. For example, regression testing. Now, regression testing, the primary objective is to make sure that all my test cases are still passing. It's not about finding defects, right? So you look forward to automate them. That we can save some time here. In case a failure happens, that's obviously a possibility if in case anything gets side affected. But the point is, the primary objective is not for looking for defects, right? Similarly, performance testing, the primary objective is not about finding defects. It's more about fine-tuning the system. So you automate it. When you talk about repeatability, if you want to rerun a test with multiple set of data, that's again automated or good candidate for automation, where primary objective is not to find defects, but to make sure that different set of data is also accepted. So wherever you see that, the three different scenarios we spoke about, if you see and observe here that where the primary objective is not to have defects or find defects, you can automate them. But if the primary objective, for example, progression testing, right? When you talk about the progression testing, when you talk about unit integration testing, the core objective is to find defects. And thus, we don't really prefer automating it because we want people to interfere there, have their personal interaction with the system, and try to figure out in different manners with positive and negative scenarios to justify that this may not be working fine, right? So that's how this particular automation system altogether could be very, very helpful. But at the same time, we should not ignore or underestimate the amount of money, time, and effort which will be required to perform automation within your organization. The tools requirement, infrastructure, resources should not be underestimated. We must do a proper calculation that will it be still cost effective to do automation within your organization? If not, you're good to continue without the tools. Also, automation should not be over-relied. It does not mean that just because you've got a tool with you in your project, let's automate everything, right? So you don't look forward to do that blindly. You do analysis, you do understand what should be the need of doing an automation here, because everything costs and we just can't go blindly with that. Talking about more on the automation skill set, what a tester needs to possess in order to perform automation. So the most important thing, of course, is the automation tool. You need to know at least one of the automation tool to call yourself as an automation tester. Later, you can look forward to add more value by adding more automation tools to your portfolio. And just like any other tool categories, even automation tools have several categories. It does not mean that if you know automation, you can do performance testing, you can do security testing. There are level-specific test tools for automation. It does not mean that automation tool is limited to non-functional or automation tool is limited only for functional. We do get automation tools for different levels of testing. So when it comes to performing necessary tests, you need to know that what kind of automation tester you are. Are you a functional automation tester? Are you a performance automation tester? Are you an API tester with automation skills? So they all are different. So knowledge about that tool is the first and foremost thing. Second is, of course, you should know how to write the script. A tool may not be that user-friendly always. There are some commercial tools which provide you a UI where you don't have to write the script, but that's only limited to the application part. If you have to write the control flow with if, else conditions or for loops to iterate something and condition-based executions, you still have to write the script. So scripting cannot be neglected no matter you're using a commercial tool which gives you a better UI to write your steps. Also, the knowledge of interacting with the system still remains the same. No matter you are a manual tester or automation tester, the better you know the system, how the system works is still the same for you. The thinking beyond the steps is still going to be part of it because this is going to be more critical than the manual testing. Just not writing the test script. You should know when a script should be executed or triggered based on what criteria, how it should return you back the results, how it should be, verifying certain elements right on the execution time or execution steps, that whether this appeared or not, whether this field was enabled or not. So a lot of verification steps will still add back to a lot of your result parameters. Also the tools knowledge, as we discussed, the programming language. And again, this could be a tedious job to understand that not all the tools work on the same language. Different tools may have different language expectations, so you may be required to learn multiple programming languages. And most importantly, writing a test script does not really mean that you are an amazing automation tester. You should have the capability of making use of optimum use of the automation tools. Writing script is something basic what you get started with, but capability of creating a framework, capability of writing control statements, executing on a keyword driven statement, writing data driven frameworks, right? Executing library frameworks is all an additional asset which an automation tester needs to possess. So making most out of the opportunity of using automation testing in the organization is another skill set what an automation tester needs to possess. There's no point when you have automation tester in your organization and you have automation tool, but still some of the activities are being performed manually, which the tool can pretty much do that just because you don't know how to do it, right? So there are a lot of such things which you can deep dive and get a clarity on that how exactly an automation tester becomes the perfect, right? So that's all from this particular tutorial, team. Should you have anything else, feel free to comment below. I'm always there to address your queries and answer them well. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep understanding the context. Thanks for watching the video, team, and happy learning.